Hello, my name is Sekhet, and we're playing in the modded world here. I still haven't named the pack. And today, I want to start getting the house together. So the first thing we're going to work on is a kitchen. We're going to get started with cooking for blockheads by cooking a book, and that'll give us the recipe book. It'll show us everything we can make with food in our inventory. Now, crafting that with a pair of diamonds and a pair of crafting tables will give you number 2 of the book. This will craft whatever's in your inventory into food, and then just a little bit of stone and some terracotta will turn it into a block that is going to be the center of our multi-block kitchen. A couple more pieces we're going to want immediately are, we're going to need a furnace for the oven, but we're going to make a sink. All right, we'll put our cooking table down right here, and then our sink right next to it. And then I think we're going to have our stove right over here. Even though the stove isn't connected to the cooking table, if we had something that we could cook, we'd be able to see the recipe from here because these are all connected by the floor. We're going to make a bunch of counters, which are just chest, terracotta, and stone, and one kitchen corner, just to maybe, yeah, just one to throw right down here, and that'll give us a little space. Now these cabinets are just inventories, and so are most of the things that we're going to be adding here. Like we're going to want a row of things here, connecting these cabinets down to the corner, and I'll show you how that works. One thing that's not just an inventory are the refrigerators, although they certainly are inventories. You can add upgrades to them. This is one for the oven. You can use RF to heat it up. We'll probably do that. But the ice unit, it's real easy to make. We need a little bit of snow. That'll allow us to use ice and snow in recipes. And then this preservation chamber you can put in the fridge so there'll always be one of any given item. But we're just gonna put the fridge down right here. And just need a couple more things. Now we've gotten a lot of quest rewards. One of them is for the cooking table, and that'll give us an item that we need. That's I was getting ready to make, but I'm glad I don't have to because it's a little tedious. Got a cow in the jar. Now you can make these by making a milk jar, getting the cow on top of it, and then squishing the cow with an anvil. But that'll work just fine. That'll slowly fill up with milk, and then we'll have access to milk from the cooking table. A few more things we're going to want in the kitchen. We're going to want the stove from Farmer's Delight, and we're going to want the cooking pot. These are all vanilla materials. We're going to pop our stove down. We're going to pop our cooking pot right on top of it. Sweet. Speaking of food, I've got a farm out here that's eventually going to be a home for our sylph. And one of the things we're growing here is grapes. What you want to do is you want to have grass on either side. You plant the grape seed and you'll get this thing, but it won't do anything. What you do is you put fences on the sides where you want the grapes to grow, and that'll spread and you'll get grapes. Now we've completed an awful lot of quests. We might as well cash all those in. A pretty cool amount of stuff. Now we need to get back into Easy Villagers as soon as possible, and I've sketched out a little shell of the building for him. I've got an iron farm going already, but we want this farmer. Not because I necessarily need a whole ton of potatoes, but because I would like easy access to several stacks of potatoes to throw into a breeder block. And again, this is just the shell of the building. here. We're going to be doing a lot more to this. But we've got an iron farm here. Not set to, and the pipes are connected in all the wrong spots. Let's go ahead and bust out the wrench here. Let me get on top. Alright, this setup is working fine. Our farmer's given us potatoes, which we can give to our villagers. We got our incubator. Oh, there it goes. Glad these things don't make any noise. And we can start getting our enchantments going, and we got all these set up for emerald production. We should be in good shape. Now we're going to get a lot of garbage from the villagers, so we're going to go ahead and make a trash can from the trash cans mod. There's all sorts of things you can do with this, with like pipes and whitelisting and blacklisting. There's a fluid version, an energy version, ultimate trash can that does all three. We're just gonna use it to like click the inevitable 9 million power 2 bows that we get while we're living up our villagers. Now while our villager scene is getting itself together and we're working on the building over there, I want to get started in nature's aura. And to do that to start, we're going to want a bunch of trees grown fairly close together. And I'll show you why in a minute. So those trees are starting to grow, and we're going to craft us up some brilliant fiber here. And that's quest. Cool. Now what you do is you take this stuff and you just you right click a likely leaf block, and it will start to convert to golden leaves. You'll know when it's done, and once it's done, it'll start spreading to the other leaf blocks. So we're going to use a little bit of this stuff around, and let it start. Excuse me. Let it start to spread, and then when we got a good amount of them that are converted, we'll harvest them, and that'll be the next thing we need for Nature's Aura. Oh, and in the quest line, they're all optional, but in case you lost the book, you can get another copy of the book. And we'll just keep us honest. We're going to be using it, certainly. See those particles? Those little lights? That's a fully converted leaf block. Now, once it gets going, it starts spreading a little faster just through, more leaf blocks like it there are, the more chance of adjoining leaf blocks start turning. So we'll be in good shape pretty soon here. Okay, we're just going to break a few of these. I'm sure they're ready. Very cool. Now, I don't know if you saw the toast up in the upper right-hand corner. That was new chapters of the Book of Natural Aura unlocking. This has a great built-in progression to it. It kind of guides you right along. This tells you pretty much everything about what we just did, except for talking about the aura. What it's saying is there's a bunch of it in a chunk. Some have more than others. That's how we're getting the spirits of birthing. There's different types of aura in different dimensions. So, drains, refills, you can really mess it up if you're not careful. Brilliant trees is what we were just doing. Aura plants we just talked about. Did mention a bottle and cork, and we could go ahead and collect ourselves some overworld aura, which is known as bottles of sunshine. We don't want to collect too much because we can't see aura right now, and that's an issue. What is it? Just do we do the bottles and planks? Yeah, there we go. 4 in here will be fine. You just right click, now you got bottled sunlight. You do it in the nether, you get bottled ghosts, and I think there's an end version But I don't think this version of the mod, which is for 1.16, and we're getting into 1.20 in Minecraft versions now, I don't think this mod deals with that much. Now, the Ritual of the Forest is a multi-block. We're going to need gold powder, and we're going to need wooden stands. The gold powder is easy. And it's just, you get two of them for each gold leaf that you place in a crafting grid. The wooden stands are easy enough to make. They're just a log and gold leaf. And what we're going to do is we're going to come out right here, and we're going to use this visualize mechanic to show us where we want to put the stands, most importantly. The stands are the part of the Ritual of the Forest that, well, you've probably seen this kind of mechanic before. But the stands, in this case, are what are permanent. The sapling you're going to put in the middle. It shows as an oak. And I don't think we really need to clear all this grass, but I'm going to. There's a lot of it. And sometimes it'll be jungle, depending on what you're doing. But we are going to put it down because the thing we're going to do is going to use oak. And then, just like placing down redstone dust, you put down 16 gold powder, just like so. And we're set up to do something with the Ritual of the Forest. Probably going to want some bone meal, but just in case the tree grows while I'm getting bone meal, all the Ritual of the Forest recipes have JAI integration. These represent the pedestals. This is the sapling you need in the middle. The gold powder is the same for all of them and is just assumed. It doesn't show you that. It doesn't seem to matter which pedestal you start on, but once you start, you're committed. You want to match the pattern that you see in the recipe. So we got what? Seeds, gold leaf, dandelion. Oh, do I have any bone meal on me? I do not. Let me go grab some. So I'll hope 6 is enough. Now this will happen if the tree grows naturally also. You get this cool animation. Kind of want to be here to pick up the stuff. Or have something pick up the stuff anyway. And then you get your item. In this case, it's 2 ancient saplings. Now what the saplings do is they replenish aura in the area, and they do so by way of their leaves. As the leaves disappear, aura is being poured into the chunks around here. Now these won't put in more than a chunk would normally take, so it'll even things out, but it's slow. And we're going to want to have something better going pretty soon, but for now, it'll do a good job. So there was an eclipse. Dark enough for mobs to spawn. And this boy, ow! Oh, that was that skeleton. Skeleton, you are not helping. This boy spawned. Sheep-sheeped to something. These things are hard to deal with, but they're worth it. Come here, come here, come here. Give me that little alien shard. Hey, you're terrible at cocoa beans, aren't you? Come on, where are you? They're so hard to hit. Got him that time. There we go. Yeah, that's how you get those ender shards. Anyway, what do we get from Boyo? Fancy helmet. Protection 5? Okay, okay. We'll have to get that off of there. Next thing on the menu, we need to make a token of joy so that we can use it as a crafting ingredient. So let's go ahead and put our gold powder down. There we go. And let's look at the recipe. There are 8 of these. You can make 4 of them with the Ritual of the Forest here. The upgraded versions, we need an offering to the gods, and we'll get into that definitely, because we're gonna need it. This here, we need, let's see, any flower, a torch, and hello, Sparkle Farts, and bottled sunlight. For two of the others, we're gonna need to go to the Nether, but we can get, crying out loud. We can get this one for now. An apple, right? So skip one, an apple, an iron ingot, and gold leaf. We'll grow the sapling, and we'll get our fancy animation. It's very nice. It's actually really pretty. And we get 2 tokens of joy. The token of joy, we can make ourselves a natural altar. And this is the center of another multi-block. It looks a little bit more like a multi-block than this kind of does. This is just kind of like a circle of pedestals. Well, we're not using it for anything else. The pedestals are great though, aren't they? Nice little small blocks. Really great texture. Just really well done. Once you got the token, the rest of the recipe is not that tough. Just a little bit of stone, some gold, and then what, like token stone or leaf token stone. Okay, so leaf, token, stone, grow the sapling. You get the idea how the Ritual of the Forest works. It's a really cool mechanic. Like this mod in general is just it's one of my favorites of the newer crop of magic mods. As are most of the rest of them in here. The only one I wouldn't say that's true about is Astral Sorcery, because I would not actually call that a newer mod. It's definitely a favorite though. There we go. One natural altar. So, like I said, this is the center of a multi-block, and you can read all about it in your Harnessing Aura chapter. We're gonna need a couple of things. These fancy stone bricks are just that golden fiber and stone's bricks. If we were to go in here and I can actually pick them out. Yeah, here they are. Golden stone bricks, just stone bricks and the brilliant fiber, which again is just leaf blocks, grass, so on. You need 8 of them. So we're gonna do the same thing with the visualize here. Did that work? I feel like it didn't work. Oh no, there we go. I didn't press it. Okay, so now we can see what we're doing. We'll put the natural altar down right here. We need 4 chiseled stone bricks and a bunch of oak planks, some little stone brick towers, and then we've got the golden stone bricks capping each little, well, let's just build it. Okay, we'll put the golden bricks down. And we'll get the fancy ding when we place them all. Complete. Now, what this is collecting aura from the environment and sending it into the natural altar. Now, we really need to be able to see what's happening. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make an environmental eye. Okay, we got our gold powder. We're just going to place this down. Gold powder pattern's always the same. And then this one I think is a spider eye and a gold and a gold leaf and a gold leaf. And we'll hopefully grow it. I gotta run some more crops and stuff through my bone meal maker. This is the last one we'll have to do for a second at least. There we go. Wonderful. So we can go ahead and equip this in our charm slot, of which we have a good number. And now we can see the aura that is in the chunk. And we can come over here and mouse over the natural altar. We can see the aura that the natural altar holds. Natural altar does a number of things. We could just hit use here. Now where it says bottle of ghosts, excuse me, that was an amazing sneeze. Where it says bottle of ghosts, that means you're doing this with the version of the multi-block in the nether. Still the same central block, but the multi-block is made out of different materials. So you can do a number of things with this, and that's cool. But oh, you can increase your yields. What we're most interested in is infused iron, at least for the time being. But whatever it is, you just right-click it on there, and it uses up a little bit of the ore in the area, or a little bit of the ore on the altar, I mean. And this structure will pull aura in from the area. You can see the leaves starting to decay. That means the aura held in these special leaves is going back into the environment. So as long as we're not pushing this thing too hard, we're in good shape, but we're going to need to start pushing this thing pretty hard. Finally, we completed some quests, and here's what we got. We got another natural altar, which is going to help us out when we go to the nether. We got the manual for thermal, we got the manual for occultism, and some random stuff. Little bone meal, that's cool. And that's kind of about do it for this time, folks. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.